Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slat Rock channel. Call it sports entertainment or professional wrestling, there's always an element of risk when wrestlers enter the ring. For a wrestler to succeed in this business, apart from great wrestling ability, great mic skills, and good booking, an element of luck is much needed. Today we present you 10 WWE wrestlers who ran out of luck at the worst moment. Number 10. Mr. Kennedy. From his hardcore wrestling style, eccentric personality, and over-the-top introduction, microphone included, Ken Anderson quickly rose through the WWE's power rankings. At WrestleMania 23, he literally found his way to the top of the rankings by beating out 4 other superstars to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. Then his problems started. WWE suspended Anderson for violating their wellness policy shortly after winning Money in the Bank. Then, a series of shoulder injuries sidelined him. The book finally closed on Anderson's storyline and career when his in-ring performances began to decline and he was deemed too stiff by John Cena and Randy Orton. Number 9. Braun Strowman. I think it's fair to say that Braun Strowman was the best thing to have happened in WWE, especially during a time when heel development was weak. For once, WWE writers and Vince McMahon did the right thing by giving Braun a monster push. Whether it was his matches with The Big Show or his feud with Roman Reigns, the fans were behind him. His momentum further elevated when he defeated the guy, Roman Reigns, at Payback. Thanks to this push, he now appears to be the guy who can stand toe-to-toe with the beast Brock Lesnar. However, tragedy struck when WWE revealed that he had a torn rotator cuff in his left shoulder, which would leave him out of action for 6 to 8 weeks. The timing of this injury is terrible to say the least, as he will not only miss the upcoming Extreme Rules and Great Balls of Fire pay-per-views, but he will miss the opportunity to lay his hands on the Universal title. I'm sure Braun will be back in a couple of months, but I hope he doesn't lose all the momentum that he's worked so hard to get. Number 8. Sting. Sting had a very short career in WWE. He debuted at the Survivor Series in 2014 to oust the Authority from power. Not that they'd be out of power for very long. His first match took place at WrestleMania 31, where he was defeated by Triple H. He would have 4 matches overall, with the final match taking place at Night of Champions that year. He faced Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight title and injured his neck. The injury was brought on by a brutal-looking powerbomb delivered by Seth Rollins into the corner turnbuckles. Before Night of Champions, Vince was high on seeing the Icon meet the Dead Man at WrestleMania 32. Even though people realized it probably wouldn't be great from an in-ring perspective, it was still something almost everybody wanted to see. Sting developed a condition called cervical spinal stenosis, the same injury that forced Edge to retire in 2011, and has been told by doctors that a return to wrestling is out of the question. Number 7. Shawn Michaels. It's fair to say that Shawn Michaels was one such wrestler who carried WWE on his shoulders during the mid-90s. This was a time when WWE was less lucrative and wrestling fans had started to dislike WWE's product. This all changed when the Attitude Era began. Just as the WWF's most financially fulfilling years were about to start, Shawn Michaels was advised by doctors to step away from wrestling if he ever wanted to walk again. Why? Here's why. Royal Rumble 1998 saw the main event was a casket match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker for the WWF Championship, with Shawn being the champion. Michaels was tossed out of the ring via a back body drop by The Undertaker. He landed on the casket, which crushed one of the discs in his back and herniated 2 others. HBK toughed out the rest of the match and retained his title, of course with some outside help, but didn't wrestle again until he returned in 2002 for the second half of his career. While you could argue that Undertaker should have been more aware of where Michaels would end up, the injury may have also been pure bad luck. Number 6. Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler's tenure in WWE has not been easy. He was a victim of bad booking and injuries. Do you remember that this guy was the World Heavyweight Champion and was in main feuds with Randy Orton and Chris Jericho? 2012 was the year of Dolph Ziggler. He had the makings of being the top guy of the company in 2012. He and AJ Lee made a great power couple that year. After being in the mid-card for most of his career, Ziggler won the Money in the Bank contract. On April 8, 2013, years of hard work finally paid off the night after WrestleMania 29. Ziggler shocked the world and successfully cashed in his Money in the Bank contract on an injured Alberto Del Rio and won the World Heavyweight Championship for the second time. So what happened next? After a month as the World Heavyweight Champion, Ziggler suffered a concussion, which kept him out of action for a month. Ziggler returned at Payback only to lose to the former champion Alberto Del Rio, who took advantage of his injury and won the championship back. But the bleach blonde superstar showed his fighting spirit, which won over the fans and turned him face for the first time. Ziggler challenged Del Rio at Money in the Bank, but interference from AJ Lee cost him the match, and as a result, Ziggler broke up with her. WWE doesn't mess around when it comes to concussions. Ziggler was a victim of that, and must have been heart-wrenching to see his title run and main event aspirations canceled because of circumstances out of his control. Number 5. Seth Rollins. 2015 was the year of the CrossFit Jesus, as he worked some of the best matches. WWE fans saw the best of him on Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, and even on live events. Thanks to his dedication and good booking, he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 31. Unfortunately, his luck ran out as he tore his ACL, MCL, and meniscus during a sunset flip powerbomb attempt on Kane in Dublin, Ireland during a routine house show match. Within minutes of the injury, Rollins knew he was facing a lengthy spell on the sick list. At the peak of his powers as WWE champ, Seth sadly had to come to terms with the prospect of missing WrestleMania and being stripped of his title. That combination of knee injuries has plagued Rollins ever since. Number 4. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Every Attitude Era fans remembers the phenomena called Stone Cold Steve Austin. Guys, 1996 may have seen the rise of Austin 316, but 1997 saw it crash into the ground in the form of a botched piledriver from Owen Hart at SummerSlam. The match was for the Intercontinental Championship. This title marked an important stepping stone for Austin. Hart dropped Austin straight on his head, leaving him with a broken neck and temporary paralysis. The Texas Rattlesnake somehow managed to finish the match with a win, but the injury was so impactful that he was not only out of in-ring action for a few months, but he also changed his wrestling style. Unfortunately, he was no longer quick and agile in the ring. This was sadly at a point when Vince McMahon was very big on Austin. Everyone expected Austin to slide down, but thankfully in this case, his luck changed and he emerged as a mudhole-stomping, beer-drinking superhero. We all know the classic rivalry between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mr. McMahon that broke all the box office records in WWE. Number 3. Triple H. Triple H has had a few legendary matches under his belt, including the match from May 21, 2001 on Raw is War, when in the middle of a tag team title match between himself and Stone Cold against Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho, Triple H legitimately tore his quad during a run-in. Triple H was unable to put any weight on the leg, but finished the match. He even took the walls of Jericho, a move that would have caused considerable pain given his injury. Triple H and Austin lost the titles as planned. Triple H had surgery after the match, and the injury meant the end of not just his tag team championship reign, but the entire McMahon-Helmsley era, as he was out of the company for over 8 months. But most importantly, he missed the invasion angle. Vince McMahon had great plans for Trips. One plan was that Triple H would betray Vince and join hands with Austin for Austin's WCW team. When he returned in early 2002, Triple H was noticeably sluggish and couldn't work the big bumping style he had before. Number 2. Daniel Bryan. The story of Daniel Bryan's organic rise up the ladder has become the stuff of legend. It was his connection with those fans that got him the much-deserved success. Fans got a taste of him as a main event level star in early 2012, and when he was squashed by Sheamus, they revolted at the idea of him being treated unfairly, and that got the ball rolling on what happened 2 years later. It was a heartwarming, emotional experience for Daniel Bryan when he became the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania 30. Unfortunately, the joy wouldn't last for long. Just a few months later, Bryan himself revealed that he had to take time off for arm surgery. Then, WWE decided to strip him of the title in June and move on without Daniel when it became clear he'd be on the sidelines for an extended period. His bad luck followed him into 2015 as well. This time, Bryan was forced to retire for good and vacate the Intercontinental title. On February 8, 2016, Daniel Bryan retired from professional wrestling due to concussions he sustained over the course of his career. After working so hard for various promotions, he finally arrived at the big leagues and made it to the top, only to realize that this is a short-lived joy. Guys, he's indeed a living legend, would you agree? Number 1. Finn Balor. The dawn of the new era didn't bring much luck to the Demon King, Finn Balor. Balor's hard work on the indie scene and in NXT paid off when he defeated Seth Rollins and became the first WWE Universal Champion at SummerSlam 2016. Just when you thought Finn Balor experienced the highest of highs in becoming the first WWE Universal Champion, he immediately suffered the lowest of lows as he suffered a severe shoulder injury that forced him to relinquish the title the following night on Raw. He made his television return on the April 3rd episode of Raw on the Raw after WrestleMania 33 teaming with former rival Seth Rollins to take on Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. Although it was good to see Balor make his comeback, WWE underutilized him and he was not even part of the Payback card. Just when we thought bad luck was haunting Finn Balor, thanks to Braun Strowman's injury, WWE has put him in a match at Extreme Rules for the #1 Contenders Fatal 5-Way match. Let's see how WWE books him going forward. So guys, that's our list. Can you think of any other WWE superstars who have had bad luck at the worst moments? If so, drop us a comment below and let us know. Hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button and get more videos just like this. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And as always, thanks for watching.